She was caught. On camera. In front of millions of people worldwide. The Princess of Wales. Composed, graceful, perfect Kate. Completely lost it. And the photo that came out after? The palace was not happy. But the photo is not the story. What happened behind closed doors after? That is what nobody is telling you. Now before I show you this picture and break it all down, I need you to understand something. This wasn't just an embarrassing royal moment. This wasn't just a bad day. What unfolded at Trooping the Color last week involves a 13-year-old boy who saw something that will change his entire life, and a mother who was trying so hard to hold it together that when she finally broke, it was her son who had to comfort her. But here's what nobody is talking about. Kate's reaction backstage was actually far more powerful than anything you saw on that balcony. Stay with me, because this gets deep. Let's go back to last week. London. Trooping the Color. One of the most iconic events in the entire British royal calendar. The mall was lined with flags. Thousands of people packed the streets. The military bands were playing perfectly. The synchronization, the precision, the pageantry. If you watched it live, it was genuinely breathtaking. And Kate looked incredible. As always. Every detail perfect. The dress, the jewelry, the posture. Because that is what her life demands. Every single thing she wears, carries, or does, gets analyzed, criticized, and picked apart by millions of people around the world. That is her reality. Every single day. So when a photograph surfaced from that event, showing Kate with an expression we have never seen before, people stopped and stared. Because this wasn't Kate being sad. This wasn't Kate being tired. This was Kate absolutely furious. And if you followed the royal family at all, you already know why. But here's what makes this story so much bigger than just one angry photograph. This next part is going to change everything you thought you knew about that day. Because there were anti-monarchy protesters at the event. Right there. In the crowd. Making noise. Making a scene. At what was supposed to be a celebration. Now look. I believe in free speech. Absolutely. People have the right to protest. That is not up for debate. But thousands of families had come out that day. Children. Elderly people. People who had waited hours. A moment of national pride and celebration. And that was the moment chosen to cause a disruption? Read the room. Personally, I found it disgusting. And clearly, so did Kate. But here is what you have to understand. Kate wasn't angry as a princess. She wasn't angry as a royal. She was angry as a mother. Because standing right next to her that day were her 3 children. George, Charlotte, Louis. And she had to stand there. Composed. Dignified. Smiling. While everything inside her was screaming. Because the cameras were on her. The world was watching. And she could not afford to react. That photograph caught the one unguarded second where the mask slipped. And in that 1 second, you saw the real Kate. Not the princess. The mother. A lioness. Protecting her cubs. And trust me, this gets even more emotional. Because what happened backstage after that moment is the part of this story that nobody is reporting. My source, and I was specifically told I could share this, confirmed that Kate was devastated after that moment. Not embarrassed. Not worried about the headlines. Devastated. And here is the heartbreaking part. She wasn't even upset for herself. She was upset for her children. She kept saying she was worried about how it affected them, when in reality, SHE was the one who was most affected. She was trying to protect them so hard that she didn't even realize how deeply it had hit her. And then, Prince George walked over to his mother, 13 years old, a brand new teenager. A boy who until that very day had been largely shielded from the darker side of royal life. And he put his hand on her arm and said, "Don't worry, Mom. It's fine." Kate broke down, and her son, her child, comforted her. Think about that image for a moment. One of the most powerful women in the world, a future queen consort, someone who carries the weight of an entire monarchy, being comforted by her 13-year-old son, who was trying to be strong for his mother. George is growing up, people, right in front of our eyes, whether we're ready for it or not. And that moment backstage, behind all the cameras and the crowds and the ceremony, that was the most human moment this royal family has had in years. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Because George wasn't the only one who had a moment that day. Charlotte, little Princess Charlotte. Apparently, when the disruption was happening, Charlotte turned and gave those protesters the most iconic, unbothered side-eye you could possibly imagine. Didn't flinch, didn't cry, didn't react, just looked at them, with an expression that said everything, without saying a single word. She is 100% her mother's daughter. And honestly, good for her. But here is the biggest reveal of this entire story. The thing that actually matters beyond the drama, beyond the photographs, beyond the headlines. Are you ready? Kate is not changing a single thing. Despite the tears, despite the anger, despite everything that happened that day. My source confirmed that Kate has absolutely zero intention of stopping her children from attending public events with her. None whatsoever. And you know what that means? It means Kate understands something that a lot of people in her position would forget. The moment you change your behavior because of people who want to bring you down, they win. And Kate is not about to let anyone win. Remember that photograph we started with? That angry, unguarded, deeply human moment? That was not weakness. That was a woman drawing a line in the sand. Quietly, powerfully, without saying a word. Saying, "You will not take this from me. You will not take this from my children. We will show up tomorrow. And the day after that. And the day after that. Because that is what we do." And honestly, after everything Kate has been through in the last 2 years, the health battles, the recovery, the return to public life, seeing her stand there that day, angry but composed, protecting her children, refusing to back down, that might be the most powerful thing she has ever done. So I want to hear from you now. Do you think Kate handled that moment the right way? Should royals always keep a perfect face no matter what? Or is it actually more powerful to let the world see you're human? And the bigger question, do you think the protesters had the right to be there that day? Or was it simply the wrong time and the wrong place? Drop your honest opinion in the comments below. I genuinely read every single one. And the debates in this comment section are always the best part. If this gave you a side of the story you hadn't heard before, hit that like button. It takes 1 second. And it genuinely helps this channel reach more people. Subscribe if you're new here, because we cover the royal family the way it deserves to be covered, with the real story, not just the headlines. Until next time, take care.